send me the thing afterwards. Now, I can't record. It's only up to you, right?
That's okay. I'll send you a copy. Hello, family. We are live. We are welcoming our beautiful sister, Alisa Sayoni. We thank you for joining us. So we have some questions. I'm so glad we can catch up with you. And like I was telling you backstage, your music is amazing. It keeps everybody pumped up. And if anybody's in here and hasn't checked it out, you need to do that because she's got how many now?
About 150.
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
that doesn't even count the 40 foreign languages that I have.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. My
but thank you, my
goodness.
brothers and sisters, for enjoying it. That really means a
Yeah.
lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute because a lot's happened since you were here last. You know, the
Yes.
loss of my son, and I know you took some time off, but that's all right. I knew eventually we'd get caught up, so
Yes,
it's all
exactly.
right.
And it is
Uh,
good to see you too. And you do look very good, my sister.
I'm
Considering
doing
everything that you
well.
went through, you definitely look very wonderful. So,
Yeah, I'm like I said, it's a lot easier when you're spiritual and you can connect with spirit, and that way I can talk to him as if he were here. I can't hug him, but I talk to him daily, and that gives me comfort. And I know the divine creator is got him and he's good. So, all
absolutely.
right. I gotta answer my husband really quick. I'm gonna let you do your shout outs real quick and I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, you go for it.
All right. Hello, my brothers and sisters. I'm really pleased to be back here. Oh, my good gravy. Look at that. We got to fix that. There's something wrong with that. I was like, this is my new camera. So be patient with me, please, because my other one died. But that's okay. We're going to make do. I wanted to give a shout out to my lady friends while I was on here to encourage any of you ladies, if you're looking for information about the femininity. I definitely want to give a shout out to my friend Dana Rubin, and she's with From Fertility to Delivery, and she's absolutely phenomenal for the women. I mean, she is a woman, she is a wife, she is a mother, and she is a lover, and she's a perfect representation for the ladies who are seeking, things that they can do for themselves, and she's my good friend, and I'm glad to say so. And then also want to give a shout out to, and I want y'all to bombard them, okay? And I want to give a shout out to Honey because she's been very, very supportive in all of this that I have been going through for the past couple of years. She got me started in all of this, and now the feminine energy is making its little round. I wanted to give a shout out to these wonderful ladies and for their contribution and all that they've helped and assisted me with. And I'm really, really pleased to be able to call them friends. And that goes for you too, Jen. Really pleased
Yes.
to be able to call you my friend.
Yes. I know I can feel the divine feminine energy is growing all the time.
Mhm.
And nothing against our guys out there, but the divine feminine energy is certainly strong.
Yes, it
And
is.
I did get to see your interview with SG on. Very good. And he's got a lot of great intel as well. But I think you kind of hushed him up. He was quite silent there for a little bit.
It was definitely fun. After it was done and over with, he was just telling me, he says, "Wow, hey, I couldn't stop picking up my jaw off of the
Yeah.
desk, and I I was taking it as a really good compliment. And I told
Yeah.
him, I said, "Well, I'm just a simple country woman." He's like, "Oh no, you're not." And
No, no, no. You have a very important role. And when you were talking to him and you were discussing like what we have under this little dome,
Mhm.
and we think that that's all there is. And so many of us grew up in the church believing that God put it there and that's all there was for whatever reason, and we can never escape it. And now that we find out that it's going to come down,
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, you
that's a
can say that God did put it up. God
yeah,
called in the Andromedans and the Arcturians and the Lyrans and the Palladians to actually put that up. And the reason why it is, you can't break it or anything like this here is because it's
right.
like a God code. And
Yeah.
that's why the bad guys cannot break it or bring it down or whatever. It's going to take that kind of energy and frequency in order to bring it back down. So,
So it's a protective barrier for us, but it's a trap for them, is it not?
well, it's a trap for us too.
Yeah.
So it's not like the dome sticks out of the atmosphere. It is below the
Mhm.
atmosphere, okay, and it's like inside of the bubble of the Earth itself. Okay?
Right.
fear the earth. But yeah, we can't get out and they can't get in. But they have opened up the portals now since the energies are changing. So now we got guys coming in and out of these portals. There were some that was under the water, some that was in mountains and stuff like this here. But whenever they first sealed it up, they made sure that those portals couldn't get out. And the only portal that they had was the one that's from the inside, the inner wall, that went to the right out of the inner wall. That was all of that Tartarian, and then beyond that, they can go there, but they couldn't get out. And the Greys couldn't come in unless they went through that portal as well. And because their technology was more advanced, they could slide through that portal.
Yeah. Now, are the Tartarians, do they come and go as they please now?
Yes.
Wow.
They were a different kind of enslavement than we were. We're the cattle. Okay. Mm-hmm. They were the technological slaves. They did all of the serving, every bit of it. They built things for them. They served them, maids, butlers, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But they were servants, where we are, the ones that are industrial and and do all things down there. But that's the reason why they're going to come in handy for us, because they were forced to build these technologies and stuff for them, so they know how to do it. And that's why they're able to bring it this way. Because once they got liberated, that all of that technology that they have, now it's free to bring it this way. And since they know how to use it, they're going to teach us how to use it.
Okay. So now when it comes to the technical stuff, is it, I know it goes way beyond just a computer system. We're talking quantum stuff, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Like the med beds and the replicators, free energy, tools that you use for building housings and stuff like this here. All kinds of different types of technologies. And also they have like moving sidewalks. You don't have to walk down them, you can ride them.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's like going into the airport where they have those fast moving. Okay. All right. I see.
And there is people who do walk, but then you can choose to do that. They also had that in the 1893 or 1897 World Fair that that's part of, actually had the moving sidewalks and stuff like this here. So it's a little bit more advanced than that, but yeah, they do have, and they have, the little taxis, if you want to call them taxis.
Wow.
And these little things that look like jet skis. That's about the only thing I can describe them. But it's their motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
And then it comes with this little cover. It goes over it like a little shield, and then you can go anywhere you want to go. So because you can see them go zip and zip.
We can basically say we know where the movie guys got their ideas.
Yes, exactly. And I definitely, first time I seen Tartaria, it definitely made me think of the Wizard of Oz, the Crystal City, the Emerald City, because they have a lot of crystal there. And it's not all clear. There is green, there is blue. So it actually is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful on how they have taken this here technology and these crystals and the glass, how they blended that crystal with a glass and then made a window.
So does that produce energy?
Yes.
Is that what the crystal? Okay. All right.
And so it also causes like it's kind of like it absorbs the light, and then at night it'll cause like a dimming light, like a footboard, something, so you can walk through hotels, halls, stuff like this here. It'll hold that energy for a good about 8 hours, and then it'll die out, and then it'll absorb it back in there again. So I think that's pretty cool. They're using this here technology that it doesn't require any kind of mechanical use to make it function. These are crystals, and they serve multi-purposes. So yeah.
You mentioned the World Fair, our roundtable. We've discussed and kind of dug into that a few times, and we were fascinated because it started out, I think we were interested in free energy. Mm-hmm. If they had all of that, then was it the Tartarians putting that on the World Fair, or they are part of that?
That free energy was part of that, and it's kind of like you've heard of like the mercury and stuff that was found under these here pyramids and stuff like this here. Well, if you can get that mercury to rotate, you're going to cause a current, just like water under the ground. If it's moving, it's going to cause an electrical charge. Okay. And this is what they did. They used that by spinning it. And once they get the momentum, it goes on its own. You don't even have to worry about an engine keeping it going. Okay. And therefore it produces it throughout the air. But then if you wanted it in your home, you would have those little spiral things on top of your house, and then you would have it grounded, and it would pull it from the ground. And the fireplaces that they had back in the day, they weren't fireplaces. they were fireplaces, but not the kind that we're thinking of, because you can change it. You can make it blow cool air, or you can make it blow hot air. So
Oh,
they need window units and stuff like this here. That's the reason why they have these grand fireplace looking things, because it can do both. And now we've learned those things by throwing logs in them, and
true.
burning thing. But yeah, and they can do that with the stoves too. It would come down and it would heat the stoves for you. And from what they're telling me, that it's a cold heat. It's a cold heat, and it will cook just like a hot heat, except it's cold. And that way you don't have to worry about dropping something, burning yourself, or anything like this here. It's a cold heat. So, and you can
Wow.
touch it and it won't burn you. But if you put a pan on it or something other, it will fry an egg. So
Very interesting.
that's what I thought that
Man.
was interesting too, because I guess I've had a for instance, because I got a new little kitty cat, and that little sucker keeps jumping up on my stove, and I'm so scared it's going to come up there with one of those still hot or something like this.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I thought about that. I said, you know what, this would solve that problem. Give me that.
Yes, it would.
A cold
Yes.
plate, that would
Or
be.
the grandbabies forgetting that the stove's still hot. Don't, little ones burning themselves. Yeah. Wow. So I want to talk to you before we get into questions from the chat. I want to ask you about the weather situation right now. How much do you think is being manipulated, good
Oh,
or bad?
all of it.
All of
Gaia
it.
is trying to cleanse herself at the same time.
Yes.
She's trying to undo what has been done to her.
Mhm.
Buildups and stuff like this here. So just like we do, when we feel that, we want to release it.
Yes.
And we are very aware. The guy, the white hats, or the ETs that are here are very aware of that. So whatever she's releasing, they're trying to keep it to a minimum.
Wow.
Okay. Now they're trying to counteract that. Oh no, we want it to be bad, but now there's fewer of them and more of
Right.
us. So we are succeeding. And they started out with this is going to be the worst hurricane season in the world of all century of all time.
Yeah.
And that's not how it's been. They were trying to
That's
put
true.
that to us so that we would manifest that.
Mm.
But since everybody seems to be, I want to say, kind of neutral and positive nowadays, it's actually working to our benefit. And the white hats and the ETs, good ETs, are helping to keep it down to a certain minimum, because they do understand she has to release it.
Of course.
Just here in the
Yeah.
dome, she's good on the outside. It's like the inside of a pus pocket festering.
So the weather manipulation is not an issue outside the dome.
No,
right?
it's tropical all the time. All the time.
Wow.
It's perfect climate. The entire planet is at a beautiful tropical temperature of maybe about 75 to 78, but the entire planet is like that, because that's how she's supposed to be. These weathers and stuff that we have, and night and days, that is all a lie. I'm not going to say she doesn't have seasons, but she doesn't have extreme seasons.
Right. Right.
She'll float through winter pretty easily. It won't be maybe 2 weeks like it is down here.
Okay.
But she does not have severe winters and severe summers. It's mostly a beautiful climate, tropical climate.
So when it's all said and done, after we've managed to get into the med beds and everything, and we're able to travel, will we have the option of living there?
Yeah, once the dome comes down, you can go live anywhere you want.
Nice.
And a lot of people will be able to expand outwards. There was a lady the other day that was saying that she wanted to be like a tour guide, and I said, absolutely, there will be somebody like that, for those that they're curious, but they would like somebody to lead them, to show them. But after that dome comes down, you'll be so, high frequency that you won't even have to worry about that. But as far as like those wanting to go see Tartaria, that's an excellent idea to get people, because there's a lot of us that will not be able to go there.
Yeah.
But we can go visit as a tour thing, but we won't be able to live there. So.
Right. Well, we've got so much work to do here inside and getting all of this cleaned up. And, I know that that's very, very important. And that's going to take a little while.
Yes,
and
it is.
We're all on different levels.
You bring those med beds out now. Do it now. If they just bring them out and show us now, then that would change everything. Well, that means that you needed a med bed to change your heart, not yourself.
Yeah. Well, patience is not always easy, especially when you've got medical problems and things like that. And I get it.
Yeah.
But we try not to let our impatience lower our frequency,
Well, I do know that our star families are doing their best to help us maintain. While we're sleeping, they'll keep us in a maintained state so that you can cross the line. And it is based on your heart. Just thank God that you have somebody that is helping you get across that line. It might not seem like it, but you're still here. So that's a good sign that somebody is keeping you going forwards. Okay.
Right.
You can ask them for, to help me with a headache or body aches or stuff like this here. And then accept it, allow it, and know that it's yours. And then they can help and assist you with that. But it does boil down to what you believe. What
Right.
you believe. You know?
Yeah.
And I still can't get over how orange I look and this everything. I'm just look
I
like I'm in a
That's all
volcano,
right.
everybody.
It just looks like you're in tropical paradise to
Well,
me.
I'll take that. I'll
All
take that. At
right.
least I look, I
There
got
you
a
go. There you go. Do you want to ask me the things that you wanted to do, or do you want to take their questions first? Which would you like to do?
well, I only have two
Okay.
that was given to me, and I told these ladies that I would ask
Sure.
tonight. Um, that way, I could kill a lot of birds with one stone, so to speak. That way I don't have to keep repeating it. Okay. I believe it is this one. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Kathy, her name is Kathy.
Mhm.
She had asked me, about the med beds are being private because I was saying that it's safer for us to go get into med beds privately. That way we don't have to worry about anything outsourced to cause us damage. And,
Right.
and she wanted to know, like, how we're going to do this. And I was telling her that different ones, we will get notified in different ways whenever we go to this. But the main reason for doing this is in private is so that we don't have to worry about security. Okay.
Right.
And also with the ones that are here, like us, that we know we got called to come here, there's
Mhm.
different ways of being notified. If you got called here from another world, okay, then you will have your star family come to you. They will actually make contact with you and
Yes.
let you know that it's going to happen. But that pretty much goes with all of us. I'm just going to do it in stages. Those that are high frequency that came here to do this job, they will get in there first so that they can help with everybody else. And
Right.
but the second stage ones would be like the guys that are really smart here. They already know what they're going to do. They have this technology and they want to help. This was an external ability. They didn't have to have it awoken in them. Okay.
Right.
They are really smart people out there. So they will get their notification through the Tartarians, just like the regular people, us, the public, will get,
Mhm.
we will have them like an escort, a taxi. Okay, they
Okay.
are the middlemen because there's a lot of these races that don't look like us. So your star family, instead of scaring you, they'll
Mhm.
bring a Tartarian to
Right.
help escort you to where you're going. And
Right.
again, they will make contact with you. They will actually approach you. I'm sorry. They will actually approach you in your home. They will make. You will probably get messages in your head, telepathy. Try to stay calm. For those of you that I've given readings to and I've described your star families, if you was to see that in your mind or hear it, then you know that it's for you, not to be scared because you have a visual of what they
Right.
supposedly look like. But it is all set up with the Tartarians being our escorts and our taxi drivers. Now, there is some that will go to Tartaria. The ones that are non-human, they will go to
Mhm.
Tartaria and the med beds because that's more private, and they will have their family from other worlds there to greet them.
Oh,
Okay. And
beautiful.
then there's others of us that will have it done on this side. And of course, we'll have our own kind of families. And if our
Mhm.
star family looks human, then yes, they'll be right there.
Right.
There's no biggie. And they're also doing them on ships of the ones that are non human. And the ones that actually go into a med bed on a ship, they're going back to their true form and they're going home.
Wow.
Yeah, because that means they finished.
Yeah.
Um,
Completed that contract, so to speak.
mhm, yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. Now,
so
are
that's
there some people that will never get an opportunity to use a med bed, like if your heart's not
they
right?
won't get to use it this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay positive for the majority of us that will get to do it. Okay, but
Right.
for those who don't, it doesn't mean that they never will. They'll just probably do it on another timeline after they've learned their lesson. Okay,
Right.
but that was their choice to not believe. That was their choice not to participate. Their free will made
Yes.
that decision that they don't want to be a part of it. Okay, because their heart wouldn't allow it. But the
And
thing,
there are some out there that do believe that. I mean, they think we're
yeah.
all crazy.
Well, that's why we can't bring them out into the public eye because these people will freak out. It's against God. It's evil. It's Satanism. Let's protest. Let's bring it down. And then the bad guys are going to jump in there and make it even worse. Oh, this place needs to burn. That's the
Yeah.
reason why we can't bring them out. It's because there's too many people that would cause chaos. Now, if they
Yeah.
brought out the quantum med beds, I mean, think about it. Is your child more important than the next child that has cancer?
Right, exactly.
You could take the most, Betty Baptist in the world. When it comes down to that child, nothing else matters. And she will turn into a demon to get, not a demon, but she
That's
will,
true. That's true. It's a
and will bring
survival
the worst
instinct.
in people instead of the best in people. That's why the second and the third generations are coming out so that we get used to the ideas. Now, they will be able to heal things. They won't be able to grow things back, but they will be able to heal. They cannot age regress you either. But at least it gets you to a point where you can raise your frequency, your vibration, heal some things within you, and then keep going forwards to those quantum med beds that are actually going to regenerate us. But that's why those ones are mechanical, is what I call them. The second, the third, and the fourth generation of these med beds are mechanical. It means that they were made by man's hands, like a car. Okay, now the quantum ones, they're holographic. They come out of replicators. Okay, they're not man-made. Well, they are the concept of it, of what it was made. But whenever they come out, there is no rivets, bolts, screws, seams. It's very, very futuristic and streamlined. But these the second, third, and fourth generation ones, it's going to help us get to that point. Because once you start to feeling better, that actually does make your heart better. It makes you feel more alive and more positive. So, and it's going to give our brothers and sisters a chance on their own. Because like, again, somebody said, well, just put it out here and show us, and then people will believe. You don't need that thing to believe. You need to believe in your heart. That's what makes the difference. They're coming to us because, yes, we do believe in them, but don't force it on people because that's what you need to show you proof. You need to believe it in your heart, and that goodness is what's going to bring it out because it's already happening. The EE system, it's already been out, and now that one's going to go away, and then these other ones are going to come in. But the difference is that the mechanical ones are going to cost money. Okay? So please use them wisely, my brothers and sisters. Please use them wisely. Go in there with the fullest of heart that this is going to work, because it doesn't matter what you're looking at. You might think somebody else built it, but it's still got God's source in it. So you use that to your advantage. Okay, God, I'm here because you sent me here. Now let's see this thing do some magic.
The intention of your heart. We talk about that all the time. You've got to feel that your intention is, if it's follow the divine. You've got to
don't go say, well, I had to pay $200. I doubt this shit's going to work. Blah blah blah. That you just ruined it.
Yeah.
Say I'm giving $200 for my benefit because God told me to do it, and now I know He's going to bless me with this because I'm showing my intention with love. Okay, so just remember that, my brothers and sisters. Always go more positive, no matter, because it is a belief factor.
Yeah,
okay? It's what you make out of it. Like some people despise calculators, so they won't work. But when they like calculators, they just flow. It's the same thing with these machines.
Doubt is a very big enemy. It once that sets in, those egos get in the way, and it's just part of
the quantum ones. They're free. They're absolutely free. You will never have to pay a dime for those. And I would really like to have those come out a lot sooner. But I do understand that I can't force people to change their hearts. They have to do it on their own. But all of us who are working on it, trust me, they know. Trust me, they know who we are. Okay. And they're fighting for us to get us to that point so that once we get that technology and then that 49% sees it, they're going to come and run it. That's just common sense.
Yes.
But then they can't come and run and give me, I demand it. That's not going to work. But I'm coming. I see this is real. Help me to learn, help me to raise my vibration so that I may do this. And that gives us our chance to open our arms and welcome our family back.
That's right. That's right. And our communities will grow. We're going to be needed, and we need to do it with open arms, not I told you so.
Well,
that's really important, that we keep our own egos in check and say, well, you should have listened to me. We can't do that. We have to say, okay, now let's talk.
Exactly. And I do know that the ladies, because this is the feminine energy, the ladies, this is your glory. This is your chance. This is our moment. This is how much the earth needs that feminine motherness of us, that nurturingness, because we are going to be responsible for these children while the men are building everything. We're being trusted with all these children that will never be not watched again. we'll have these mothers and the teachers and the nurses, if you want to call them that, that's going to be, helping these children now. And we will guarantee that they are watched and how
Mm,
they are taught. They're not going to be ignored anymore or put off on somebody else. It's
that's
our
right.
responsibility. That's where our role is.
Hmm.
And we're going to see all of these very strong, I'm going to call them angels, because a lot of them are archangels in
Hmm.
disguise. It's because
Yeah,
we need that strength and that knowledge to go forwards, because they are going to pull us out of this. Whether these ladies like to believe that or not, these men is what's going to pull us out of this, because they are our strength. Okay.
mm,
We are the birthers of life and
yeah,
the teachers of that life, but they are the protectors of that.
that's right.
Okay, so let them take their role. And I'm not saying bow, but I'm just saying accept your role while they do their role, because that's what we were sent here for, is to take back all of this family, all of these children,
Hmm.
and make sure that they are raised and loved and taught the way they should have been. Bring out the
Exactly.
mother in all of us, so to speak.
Absolutely. I just want to tell you that as soon as you start talking about angels, one just went zipped right across the back of your room.
Really? Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're divinely protected. All right. Are you ready for some questions?
I am. I am. And I did have one other one that I
Oh,
wanted
go
to
go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, I got a little sidetracked, so I apologize. And
It's all
Kathy, I
right.
hope that did answer your question. Yeah, about how we're going to get notified. I did answer that. Okay. And the other thing that I said in SGN on, and this is ML 1111. I like that. Or is it MJ? M MJL 1111. Anyway, she was like, I had mentioned that I hope, I said, this is a guess. I hope that all of this done by 2050. Okay.
Hmm.
And they're like, I'm not going to last till 2050. Now, I meant everything. We're way
Yeah,
out of the med beds, the cities and roads, everything is done.
exactly. Yeah.
Everything is done by 2050. That is my hope. I'm not going to say that's a fact, but I'm thinking between now and 2050, that gives us more than enough time. If you got a billion people, or even 2 billion people all actually doing something, we could
Yes.
accomplish so much in 20 years, you know?
Yes.
And they're like scared that I meant that the med beds aren't going to come out to 2050. No,
Oh,
what I meant. That is not what I meant. I just meant that the whole game is going to be done. Okay. We should be out and ready for that dome to come down and go to glory. So,
do you know that I'm familiar with quite a few people that have had prophecies that they can't see past 2050 because everything totally changes? So that
mm,
timeline would line up.
yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
but I do hope that that helped with the ladies, the questions that they had. Just hold on, ladies, and trust that, I say, and this, I think that I don't want to, put any juju or anything like this here, but I definitely think that by the next 5 years, that's whenever we're going to be out.
I believe that
Within
too.
five
I
years,
really
that's
do.
all that needs to go into the quantum ones, while we still have a large population that's going into the second and third generation. But the
Right.
priority is to get our guys out of the quantum ones so that we can get these projects started. So once we
Yes.
get this project started, it's more of a big down domino effect
Right.
like everything else. So
Yeah.
that we can bring them to those quantum med beds. But as long as there is negativity on the field, and I mean, a lot of people can't even stand their neighbor, and yet you
Yeah.
think you're deserving of a med bed and you can't even stand your neighbor.
Mhm.
I mean, what does that tell you? So this is how much work we need to do. We still have quite a bit to do, but because it's coming so fast, the energies are more faster. Next year is going to be like a catapult, just like God told me.
Yeah.
And Trump has mentioned, that he's going to cut our energy prices in half.
Yeah.
He's going to do that. It's going to cut the grocery prices in half. Okay, that's going to make everybody
You
happy.
gotta start somewhere. I
Got
mean,
to
yeah.
start somewhere. But he also mentioned about the technologies that is going to be being put out into the hospitals now, and that
Mhm.
will be probably they'll put third and fourth generation med beds in the hospitals, because that fourth one, it can take care of cancer.
Wow.
Okay, that would be for more severe kind of things, but it still can't grow limb back or a kidney back.
Right. Right.
But what it will do, it will excite the people, and that will be by word of mouth. Because if you just let everybody know that they're there, it's at this hospital, then it's going to get overwhelmed, and you
Yes.
don't need that to
Yes.
happen, because desperate people will do desperate things.
It has to be structured. I mean, there
Yeah,
has to be a
yeah,
system in place to make
right,
sure that it stays in just stair stepping, like you said, it's in
mhm,
stages.
right.
So to keep the peace, because we certainly don't want people getting crazy ideas, holding people hostage and blackmailing and all that. I mean, it can get crazy. We've seen
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Wow. Okay.
All
All
right,
right, love. Are you ready for some questions?
I am, but I'm going to say, hey, Joe.
Yep, she's in here. She made it. All right. Miss Mary Jones is the first one. How long after RV do you have to turn in paperwork for projects?
You can do it at the RV. But they will give you like a 90-day thing. There's really no time limit on it, but I'm going to say about 90 days you should have your idea of what you want to do. But the main point is to have that idea when you go in, because they will
Yes.
ask you at that time if you have a project, and if you say yes, here is your gap that you can come up with it. They'll set you up an appointment with these architects, engineers, and so forth. That's going
Mhm.
to help you with your project, and in that gap is whenever you can try to put it down on paper, but you don't
Yeah.
really need no massive book or nothing. Just have your idea of what you'd like to do.
Right.
It could be just a simple form of it, but they will
Mhm.
help you develop it into something bigger. As long as
Yeah.
you have an idea of what you would like to do. With me, they don't have to worry about that. Mine's all good. I got it all
There you
together.
go. Well,
Yeah.
I've tried to tell everybody if you can just put it on a sheet of paper, just make it short and sweet, your idea and what you try to want to accomplish. All the
Mhm.
rest of the holes will be filled in later. 'Cause
Exactly.
we're not experts in these things, and some of them are so far out the box, we wouldn't even know where to start, but the idea is there.
Exactly. But there'll be projects that you can join.
Yes.
If you choose to want to join those projects and it's similar to what you would like to do, it doesn't mean that you're going to go work with somebody else. It just means that you're going to do the same thing in another section because
Right.
your idea is the same as theirs. Well, we need that over here too. Well, we need it over
Yes.
here too. You see? So
Yeah.
it's just, they'll give you like a list of all of the projects that are out there that you can either
Mhm.
join or donate to, so
Yes.
no worries.
Right. All right. The second one was also from Miss Mary. I'm 70 and all alone in the awakening. Will there be wealth management to help in the legal management of the projects?
Absolutely, Mary Jones. Absolutely, my sister. The Tartarians are also going to be our middlemen. They will be our lawyers. Okay. They will be our mentors. They will be our wealth managers. Okay.
Yeah.
They are going to help make sure that we don't get taken advantage of by the bad guys. So, and they will also be provided during the RV. Okay. If you go out and seek a wealth manager on your own, then that's on you.
Right.
But
Right.
they will suggest these wealth managers to you because they've already been vetted by them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be the best place to ask them for these wealth managers because there is so many that is ready to help us with that. So, and these
Right.
guys aren't
And
going to get paid. So they're here to help us.
exactly. And just like setting up the trust to make sure no one can sue you and take it all away from you,
Absolutely.
things like that.
Mhm.
So, all right. Sister Terry, and Terry, we're praying for you. She has a migraine tonight. She's not feeling good, but she's
Aw.
here. All right. Will humanitarian funds be released before Nasara is announced publicly? And will it happen simultaneously? Okay.
I kind of think that it will happen simultaneously because as soon as that switch flips for the RV, everything else is going to fall into place. And that will cause uh, the worldwide Nasar to kind of kick in or Jasar because
Yeah.
each country will have its own, and then the Jasar is everybody. Okay,
Right.
but yes, it will all fall into place simultaneously. Now, will it happen before November? I don't know. There's a lot of people that are given the ideas that we are at the threshold. Even Mark Z, Militia Man. Um, that's all I'm going to suggest. Are
Yeah.
saying that this here is right at our doorstep, and that the bonds have already been paid out. It's kind of like these bonds people have received their monies, but they can't distribute it as of yet.
Exactly.
They have
Yep.
to wait until tier four comes through, which is the funds that we have, and
Hmm.
once that happens, then everything is just a snowball effect. So, so I'm rooting by mid October, so I'm going to root for that.
We're hoping that, yeah, it's kind of our want and desire to have that done before the big check your box day that we do in November. But there's also a lot of that he has to be in office first and that kind of stuff. And there's so many technical moving pieces to this that
I agree. Well,
I
I would feel more comfortable with him in office while this is going on.
mm-hmm.
But there's just so many variables. Will he be in? Will Biden be in there to cause it, or does he have to be out of it to happen for the humanitarian project to happen?
Right.
And so many people have said that's not what we're looking for. We're waiting for the Middle East to get together over there. They're
Yeah.
not waiting on this so-called Biden character. Okay, they don't need his permission, but we
That's
do
true.
need the. I want to say the World Trade Center Commission is for us. We do need their consent and permission, and they're the one that's helping us set it up because the White House has already taken that over. And again, because they've taken that over, we don't need Biden's permission.
That's
because
right.
they're not owned anymore by the government.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That corporation, it's all, wrapped up. And this movie, this crazy mini series that we're watching it drives us crazy, but it will wrap up. It does have an ending. Credits will roll.
Well, it just got a nice little cliffhanger because, a couple of months ago, the Vatican put out these here handbooks that was saying that you're going to start seeing apparitions, ghosts, UFOs, goblins, and all this kind of good stuff. And you need to, it's a little handbook, tells you what to do. But the biggest thing is they have an 800 number in there for you to call because they're the only ones qualified to tell you what you saw, even though they weren't there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I think that they're doing this so that they can catch it or nip it in the butt so that they can use that against people. Oh, no, that means you're possessed. Or, oh, no, you got a mental disease.
Of course. Yeah.
They have a plan for that. So please don't fall for that and use that book or call them people if you start seeing different things. And it's not going to be harmful. If you're negative in your heart, yes, it can be very frightening. But if you're positive in your heart, it's not. It's like for me, I would not mind one bit being able to see my husband, even if it's just for a second. But these energies are coming in and they're going to fade in and fade out. And that includes your star families. For those who, know what they look like, it won't be so scary. But yeah, we have these different things that's going to happen. And we're going to see another, it'll be two rooms in one. Somebody be like cooking in one thing and you're sitting over here and you can see them cooking. It's because those two different dimensions are merging.
Yes. Yeah.
So until it solidifies, it'll pop in and out until we get used to it.
I'm very grateful that I have the ability to turn it off because I can see it, and it's hard to do when you're just in this 3D world because you start to question, wait a minute, are you from this density or that? You're doing that all the time. Mm-hmm. So I try to only do it when I'm working, but yeah, it doesn't scare me anymore. It's just like, hey, and people look at me like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. I hear you. Because we'll have those third ones. For those who are more negative, they'll see 3D kind of things to them. But the ones who are higher frequency will see 4 and 5 and 6 and so forth.
Yes.
So, and I think that's fascinating. Just don't freak out, my brothers and sisters. You will feel the difference. Trust me. You will feel negative or positive. And because they don't want to scare us. So if it's a nice, calm feeling, then it's not negative. I mean, it's not a bad thing. So, but if your heart starts running away, just breathe.
All right. Here we go. Miss Colleen has the next one. What's your take on September 29th? Asteroid, second moon, mothership?
Oh, hello, Colleen. I do know that there is a mothership out there, but there's lots of them. But they're using this particular one to make it seem nefarious. Ooh, there's something out there and it's negative. The so-called asteroid Mahumahi or something like this here, that is also a ship. Okay, but that is a ship that was destroyed in a war. That's the reason why it looks like it does. Okay, it's kind of like it got blasted, if you want to look at it like that there. But that is a type of ship. But this here mothership that they're talking about, some people are calling it the Jerusalem of the sky because of the way it looks, because it's actually tiered down, and it does look like a city, if you want to call it that. I know that it is a mothership, but it's not negative. Okay, they're going to portray it as something negative. They're going to portray it as something nefarious. And a lot of people are easy to scare.
Yes.
No, so that there, but I don't, we have nothing to worry about. And Earth has always had a second moon, so you don't need to freak out about that either. She has a very small moon that goes around her bottom of her equator. Okay. And
Okay.
that's the only place you can see it is when you're down there because it
Wow.
stays down there on the bottom of her, well, at the bottom level of it. And it's a
Hmm.
very small moon, but it's a captured asteroid because she is a super Earth, you know. But to somebody on the ground, they'll be able to see this go by like a little moon. Okay.
Okay.
And that has always been there. There is planets that do have that. Even inside the photon belt, she still has that little moon because it's part of her. You know, it's something
Hmm.
that she captured. But the moon that we are aware of, that will be gone. We already know that's not real.
Right.
I was telling people that once we hit our star hit the photon belt, nothing negative or evil or synthetic can be in that space. And what did they do to the moon, or this supposed moon? It was a
Mm.
hollowed out real rock moon. Okay, but all of the evil that was done in that, all
Yes.
the synthetic stuff that's inside of that. So when it hit that photon belt, what do you think happened to that ship? Because it's not a regular moon. It was
Oh, it was
destroyed,
destroyed. Yeah. Yeah.
automatically destroyed. You know, and you should. I mean, if you could have seen it from my perspective, these suckers are running around like a chicken without a head. I'm trying to get off that sucker.
I
And
bet. I
out.
bet.
Yeah, and they
Because
were
they know
forcing
what's
them to
coming.
stay. They were forcing them to
Yeah.
stay on it. You made this. Now you were going to pay for this, and this is where we're going to keep you right there. And it was horrible. I'm not going to say that it wasn't, but that's what they did to themselves.
Yeah.
You know? So, and whenever it went into the light, it was gone. It was consumed by the light.
Well, that's that old phrase, you made your bed, now lie in it kind of
Something
thing.
like that. There, yes, yeah. And
Yeah.
there's still ones that are trapped under the dome with us. They can't get out now. If they could have an access out, they can't get out because they cannot take that energy. So they're
Right.
literally trapped here, right along with
Mhm.
us. And we have taken care of, I would say, a good 70% of them, but we still have all these minions,
Yeah.
all these problem ones on the ground, whether they be NPCs or the ones that are clones. Or I really don't want to say it, but the liberals, these millenniums, all these ones, but they've been so brainwashed. Okay,
Yeah.
they cause a lot of problems. So,
Yeah.
and we want to help them make it, not have them disintegrate. Even the clones, I know God's taking those back. Okay,
Yeah.
because there's so many people in our families and friends and stuff that we don't even know about, that they were murdered and replaced with these clones to be the alcoholic, to be that child rapist, to be the person that don't want to pay their bills and beats their wife, to have
Mm.
this stress and conflict in the environment. And then, whether it's male or female, they're like, how can this be happening? What's going on? Or they do it to children. Well, I have a child that's got this now, or this is happening. It's because they did that to it, or they
Right.
swapped it out. And a lot of us don't even know it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do know that as the frequency gets higher, and this here chip that they have, it's kind of like God's got a shut off switch. And as soon as it goes off, then he's put into souls back in those bodies with a vengeance.
Mhm.
He said, I'm taking back what you took from me. You think you can keep them from me because they're a clone.
Right.
But
Well,
God will
it's
cleanse it and automatically make them whole.
wouldn't that be the same for anybody that's that MK Ultra stuff? He can take that back too. He can turn it
Oh,
off.
absolutely.
And yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Wow.
and those are the ones that we need God's help for, because they're not even going to let us near them without hurting us. So we
Right.
need God to do something within them that's going
Yeah.
to allow that. And He also has, it's like a doctor here and there, or somebody on death row, a gang leader, and all of a sudden this switch goes off, and they're a totally different person.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't need to go into a med bed. God wakes them up on the spot, because
Yeah.
that's what they signed up for, because he needs them alive right there where they're at to do what he needs them to do. And that
Mhm.
really, really impressed me, because you're looking at it. I'm looking through a doctor, and I could feel this, all that money, and what can I do to make this here last longer, to make more money? And I'm thinking, oh, this evil fucker,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
God flips that switch, and he's like, I have to fix this.
Yeah.
I have to make it right. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, glory. So
It's
God's got a
those wake
contingency
up
plan
calls.
for everything. Yeah. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like they're just, whoa, I'm here. And it's like, I need to do what's right.
Mhm. Yeah. Beautiful.
Uh,
All right. Miss Mary,
Again, Miss Mary.
we have Tartarian advisors involved in our projects.
Yes. They will be your mentors. Okay. If you don't know how to build a house, they will have somebody there that does. You just tell them what you want it to look like, and that person will make it happen. Or if you what you would like to invest into, if you want to invest into anything, there's different things. There's project ones and the wealth managers. If you want the most uniquest pool you've ever seen or whatever, they will provide you with that, because these people are highly intelligent and they know how to do all of these things with the architects, engineers, scientists, the landscapers, the water engineers, and of course, for the free energy source, but that's a little bit further down.
So would it be at a faster pace than what we're used to in this 3D, where it takes us a lot longer to build a house and do those things? Is it a lot faster when you've got?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The glass beach house that I have, well, it's 2 stories. You count 3 if you underneath the beach house, but it's 5,000 square feet. Okay, 2,500 on each foot, and then it's got a 5,000 square foot deck on it, on top and the bottom. And they did that in 3 weeks, and that's a 1.5-year project, easy.
Yeah, easy.
And it's because of the tools and the technology that they came in with. Now, if they could do that pretty quickly with glass, and they also showed me because on the first island that I went to that we set up the medbed facilities, and y'all heard me say that we had villas. Okay, well, those villas are made of wood. Okay, so where are you getting the wood? We got them out of the replicators. Okay, so which is easy, you can do that. But as far as like nailing them together, it's kind of like the tool that you use. You would put 2 boards together like that there, and you would have to have screws in it to hold it, right? Well, the machine will meld that corner together. Now it's just 1 board.
Wow.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Wow. No more chopping down trees.
Yeah, you don't have to. Well, there is some that we are going to use, but for those islands, they use the replicators to get the wood out of.
Okay. Okay.
Because Gaia wants us to use certain things, but be respectful.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't overindulge yourself and chop down complete rainforests or something. That's gotten a little too far. Or removing mountaintops and things like that. It's just gotten out of hand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Miss Betty, can you see what's wrong with my neck and vertigo? Been in so much pain. Oh, Miss Betty, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Miss Betty, my heart goes out to you, my sister. Can I see what's wrong with your neck and the vertigo? Okay. I'm seeing here, if you can see me pointing at that ball back here. Okay. I'm feeling like that there is some kind of a rupture there. It could be something that's torn it, and therefore it can cause the vertigo, because that little pocket right there will affect the back of your ear. And if you can feel a knot back here, and get my hair out of the way, you can feel your tube right back here, then that will tell you that you have fluid built up back there, and that can cause vertigo. You might not feel like you have an earache or anything here, but I'm getting like there's some kind of a rupture back here. And it's because pressure is being put on that so that it can. Please say that again. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Well, because she has parasites, okay, and it seems like they built up here. And this here is going to cause her neck to hurt, and it will cause her ear to hurt if it does hurt, but it will cause her vertigo. And that is being taken out of her, and she's feeling the effects of it. And for her to stay positive and especially talk to God, saying, thank you. I'm aware something's happening, and I'm allowing it to be healed, and I'm going to do my best not to fight it. Okay. But it was because you have parasites in you. Lots of us do.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Lots of us do. Even our animals do. So it's not like it's just you. But I do see it as a positive thing, my sister, and just keep it in that positive state. Okay. My higher self is telling me that if you have, well, it's kind of weird, but it's showing orange behind me. If you have like an orange crystal, even though that is for the reproductive areas and stuff like this here, because it's a feminine energy, it will cancel out a parasite if you wash it. Like, you can use it just to rub on it and stuff like this here. But that is very good because that feminine energy can counteract it. I just learned that myself, so that's pretty cool. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting that it was a lymph node that was infected that causes eustachian tube blockages, but the parasites absolutely make sense because they get in the lymph system as well. So
yes, they do, and they can cause cancer. Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Sister Nadia. I hope she's done traveling. She's been a busy bee recently. Question is, I was driving home. I noticed a location that had 7 big churches with very high steeples. Okay. Are they still generating free energy?
They are on a low band, but because that circuitry underneath the ground that was
Mhm.
flowing, they made a lot of efforts to cut it off. And it's kind of like a cord. You're not cutting it all the way through. You just have that little strip. So therefore it does get something, okay, but it's not as powerful as it was. But all of those things will be fixed. And just you seeing that is telling me that they're coming back into play and to pay
Mm.
attention to that because if they have spirals on them, you will start seeing lightning coming down and making contact with them because
Wow.
it wants to reconnect. And then God is telling me that you're seeing those for a reason. Take
Mhm.
pictures, go randomly and look, and you will probably catch this here coming in. So,
Well, we recently did a show. We looked into country Kazakhstan, and I've already forgot the other one. Nadia, I have to put it in the chat. And they have a lot of this, like there's no wires anywhere. And they have a lot of these antenna towers. And we were curious if they're already receiving free energy or trying to get that energy out there that's in the atmosphere. So do you
um,
think that there are countries around the world already doing it?
yes, there is. There is countries that the good guys are making them active again, but because it is a more powerful positive energy. It works in a negative way for the bad guys. Okay,
Mm,
it's your intention. Okay, it's that
right.
energy.
Yes.
If they put negative energy in it, then they're going to get a negative effect. But it's just like it's similar to the med beds. If they're evil in their hearts and evil in their vibration, the med bed will fix a liver, but it
Right.
will not fix them on the whole or regenerate them. That's
Right.
why they want to use the other stuff from the children
Mhm.
is because they can't transform the outside of them, but the med beds can help certain things on the inside of them. So,
Right.
but they don't want us to use them because our good frequency, we will be able to age regression in them where they cannot. See, we don't need children's to do that. I'm trying to
Yes.
remember what I say. I don't want to
Yeah,
make
well,
it.
they understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Nadia. It was Turkmenistan.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have a beautiful architecture over there, and but you can't see any electric wires. These the ugly old things that we have to stare at all
It's
the
because they're
time.
grounded from the inside.
Mm,
If you can actually go up to because the ones that I've seen, usually it's on the back side of the house, and you can see these cables that would be coming all the way down that would ground. And they
mm.
usually have those little land ties. It's like a straight bar with a little hoop on the top and
Yeah, yeah.
tie downs, and they will be tied off to that to ground it. So,
Wow.
but yeah,
Okay.
they're really close to the thing, so you don't have to see them like wires hanging and stuff like that there.
Okay. All
And with
right.
our electricity, they're doing that from a distance for free and charging us.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it just gets worse. I'm like, God don't mind it. So it does already exist. It's living proof we have electricity, but we're doing it on long lines instead of the spires on each individual house.
Mm.
That way they get to control it. We don't. So
Oh my goodness.
I know.
I try not to when you get angry because I've already been through the angry stage, but there are certain things that still ruffle my feathers, like what they've
Yes.
done to us.
There
Yeah.
you go. You know,
Mary Helen, she flashier question mark. What's your estimate for that?
well, you mean the solar flash for when the dome comes down? That
Yeah.
should be sometime after 2050. I'm not saying 2050. I'm saying sometime after that. Okay, I would like it to be done by then. That would be a
Hmm.
good goal for me. I'm trying to stay positive on that. But whenever that dome comes down, we will be hit with a blast of light that's just like my song. It's brighter than 1,000 suns. Okay,
Mm.
that energy is so supreme. If it can, the stars are being supercharged right now, and that means the planets are being supercharged. What do you think it's going to do to us?
Oh yeah,
It's going to
yeah.
supercharge us, and that's the reason why we need to have all of this stuff out of our system so that it can go slap through us, okay,
Hmm.
and the absorption of it. And there will be a lot of people that will pass out from it. It's okay. It's just such a hard hit. But then those other ones that God sent in there, the higher dimensions, it won't even phase them. and they'll be awake to be able to help us. Come on, wake up. It's okay.
Yeah, somebody's going to pick us off the floor, right?
Pick us off the floor, yeah. And this here 3 days of darkness or whatever in this null thing. No, my brothers and sisters, that is not going to happen. Okay, because they're trying to put the fear into us as our star was coming up to the photon belt. Okay, they were saying that when a star hits the photon belt, it's going to discharge. No, that star automatically starts sucking it in like a straw. Okay, and it doesn't turn black or anything like this here. It's not going to jerk.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
It's just going to start absorbing it. So this here 3 days of darkness, or this null zone, as they're calling it, that is not true. That is another fear factor, so that you'll think that the Earth is actually going to be in the depths of cold for 3 days.
Oh. Now, when I think of the darkness or the 3 days or whatever, I was just thinking communications blackout while the good guys do their thing, to get everybody at home so they can release this movie or explain what's going on. I don't really think of it as some big biblical event. I just don't see that
Well, they've
happening.
been doing it in separate places, 3 days here or a day and a half there.
Yeah.
They've been doing it so that they can get all of the systems slowly, but then shut them down. And this last one, which was a big one, they were pretty much having that choice of, well, if we don't shut it down, then we can't restart it. So we're going to take our chances. And they did it. And they did really, really good because it was minimum damage of anything across the board. So it was really, really a success on that part.
Another thing, they're stair stepping, basically. They're doing little bits here and there, so it's not a big shock to the whole world.
Right. They're setting the stage.
Okay. Our JoJo McWill. Will mental illness be a thing of the past?
Absolutely. It will. I have 5 nieces and nephews, and every one of them are mentally handicapped. Okay. Wow. So these med beds are very valuable and important to me as too. I mean, I have a 42-year-old that's an 8-year-old in his mind. I have a 25-year-old that's probably got a 9-year-old in his mind. And all the rest of them are like that. They're adults, but they're children, and they're trapped inside these minds. And trust me, I would like to be able to ask them more than, well, what did you have for breakfast today? What did you do today? Did you color something today? I would like to be able to have a more in-depth conversation with that. And God is definitely going to be able to help with all of that, no matter if they're babies to adults. And I'm looking forward to seeing those children come out. And I often thought, well, how's it going to be? I mean, how would it be? Are they all of it gets erased, or are they going to start from scratch?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then God showed me, his name is Andy. He's 42. And God showed me that whenever he came out of this med bed, he spoke to me like a man. And I just started bawling.
So it's not like he didn't learn anything or it's put in there or it's activated or something and he comes out. Wow, that's amazing.
Because it takes us back to our original blueprint.
Yes.
And therefore he came and he spoke to me as an adult. And then he also let me know that he wanted to stay where I was at to help him. And then the other one is my nephew. He is 25 years old and he's 7'2". Okay. And he's about a 9-year-old in his mind. And but he's huge. He's a huge, huge dude. And I got to see that whenever he came out of the med bed again, he's talking to me like a man. Okay. And I'm just so floored over this. And to my surprise, I said, whatever you'd like to do, you can do it now. You know what you need to do. And I was not expecting this. He wants to make giant furniture. He's never had a bed or a chair or anything like this here. So he wants to really go into wood carving. That's what his mission is. He wants to make these large furnitures, to go in any places. And he tells me that's what he wants to do. And
that's amazing.
He went from, how come my controller won't work to, Aunt Lisa, I want to be able to build these here structures and houses and chairs and beds for these large people because I'm not the only one. And I thought that's awesome. Yeah.
My son Michael was 6'5". We couldn't ever find anything. We had to special order everything for him. He was a big guy.
Yeah.
Wow. And a heart just as big too.
Yeah. I had to take a king size bed and a single, slap them
together. Yep.
And I had him on the floor. I couldn't have him on the footing because he was like, 300, almost 350. He's huge. And then it's just like everything he had sit on, he had to sit on the floor because nothing could hold him properly.
Yeah.
And it was really a surprise that he came back. That's what he would like to do for the world.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Miss Mary, which trust should you focus on?
The irrevocable or the common. Well, it depends on what you want to do with that trust.
Mhm.
Okay. You have to definitely look up the meaning of each one, what its purpose is. I am actually going to do the revocable and the common one because, and the irrevocable, I don't have to worry about that because it's like if I want my son to take care of everything for me. Okay, I
Mhm.
don't need the irrevocable. Okay, I don't need to have to do anything. But if you are by yourself, you don't have anybody or anything like this here, definitely do the irrevocable. That protects you, and nobody can come back on that. Okay,
Right.
but the revocable is just the opposite of that. Okay, and you be able to give trust to your family, to your siblings, to your
Mhm.
children, or whatever, but only give it to them in a trust. If you give
Yes.
them cash, then that's on you. You
Exactly.
know, but if you
Exactly.
give it to them in a trust, then they will have a mentor that's going to help them make better decisions. Okay. And it'll tell them how to, in that one trust, break it down to different trusts, one for a car, one for a house, one for a boat, or whatever. You do not do
Exactly.
it all together. You do
Exactly.
it
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
exactly.
Absolutely make sure. And your wealth management team is going to help walk you through this.
Exactly.
So, all those questions will be answered. You just make a list of questions, and if you can't figure it out
Exactly.
before you go in there, they're going to be there to help you
They're
and
so
guide you
loving
through.
and good. They are there to
Yes.
help us, and they have a lot of patience, and they understand that we need to understand this a little bit better because we don't have the information that we should have
Yeah.
out here to help us with it. So that was a good question, my
Exactly.
sister. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Great. All right. Hey guys, we're gonna stop the questions. I've got 9 here. I don't want to keep Elisa all night. I know we do have to go to bed at some point.
What time is it anyway? Oh,
It
it's on 8
is.
o'clock on my side. What time is it where you are?
It's 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
I'll do my
All
best
right.
to answer what I can.
Yeah. All right. Mary Helen, what year do you predict the big solar flash? I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
We're hoping it's before 2050, but we just don't know.
No. We want it after 2030 or after 2050. We want
Okay.
to make sure we get everything done first before that solar
Oh yeah,
flash.
we have work to do.
We have lots of work to do. So let's put that off on the burner.
There you go. That's something we'll just push down the road. All right. John Doe, what do you think Melania Trump is? The concept of Diana is the real mother.
There is a lot of ties into that. I do know that Melania she is Palladian. Okay.
Hmm.
But she is the physical Palladian because the other Palladians that I deal with, should I say, they're not Earthlings. She is. She was born here as a Palladian. She was brought here and she mingled with us. She grew up with us. So that's the reason why she's a different kind of Palladian. Okay. She doesn't have to go in the med bed and change. She looks like she's supposed to. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she can go back to being 25, but she's already a Palladian. We actually see one walking around.
You
So not
can
all of them have blonde hair. Majority of them do. They look like a bunch of surfers.
yeah. Well, I can look at Melania. It's in her eyes. It's
Mhm.
just there's something about her eyes that tells that she's Palladian.
Yes, and
Yeah.
also there are. I don't know this, but people have been talking about her being the queen or the true queen of Romania.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. It really would not surprise me. But Diana, she did want to get out of her situation because of what was going on and everything over there. There is so many speculations that Diana and Trump, had a moment. Of course they
Yeah.
did. Okay, that's common sense. But whether or
Mm.
not Barron is from that, I think he looks more on his side than if it was Diana. Because I mean, Diana's boys, you can see Diana. Okay,
Mhm.
and Barron does not have that. I really think that he looked more like Melania and Trump.
Yeah.
So, so I'm just
Yeah.
going to say that even if he had a moment with Diana, that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Brother John is asking, ask my star family to lighten up this hurricane. Yeah, it's getting pretty nasty. We've even gotten some of those storms today.
Well, John, you can ask your star family, and I will ask your star family as well. So put his picture back up there so I can tell him who
Okay.
his star family is.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Okay, my brother, you are definitely a Lyran, and you are a. They come in different sizes: 15, 10, okay, and about 8 footer. I definitely see you around the 10 footer one. You are boots on the ground. You are actually a very prized soldier, and that will show in the coming days. You are going to be a leader that's going to be part of a group of men that's going to lead us into this new world. And your knowledge is tactics. Your knowledge is securing sites. I don't know why they're telling me that, but I'm saying secure sites and make sure that it is fordable, meaning has fortress around it. It's protected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you definitely got those skills. You do have family that is here. I have actually met some of your family, John, and that is the larger 15 footers, Lyrans, that was in the bunkers. They are used for security reasons because they can read energy instantly. So,
Wow.
and you have that ability, my brother. So, if you feel things from different people, trust that because you have that ability. But I can definitely tell that you are a Lyran and not just any Lyran. You are one of the goldish colored ones, like a lion, that color.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So
All
kudos,
right.
thank you, my brother. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to.
Nice.
So you can ask your star family; they are here, and there's lots of them. So by all means, ask your brothers. Can you give me a name for him to somebody to contact or to talk to, please? Malin, am I saying it correct? Malin. Okay. Well, you actually have a brother that's here, and his name is Malin. You are in a skin suit. He is not. So, but he will be somebody that you will be contacting with once you get out of the med bed, and yours is all about security. Yours is all
Nice.
about securing the vicinity, making sure it's guarded and protected. So that because I told you that these men are going to pull us out of all of this. Well, they're going to have these dudes that's going to help us do this. These soldiers, and you're not just any kind of Lyran. You are a soldier, okay,
Mm.
and that is your specialty, but you are boots on the ground. So yeah,
Wow.
can you give me his name, his Lyran name? Say that again, please. Say that again, please. I need you to say it one more time, please. Panadol? That doesn't make no sense. Panadol. Okay, your name is Panadol. Panadol. Your name is Panadol. Okay,
Okay.
and your brother calls you Pan.
Well, there you go, John.
Malin. Malin and
Hey,
Pan.
all right.
So
Han's got to get ready to form a perimeter to keep us safe, right? All right. Wonderful. Jojo McWill, is that the one they were saying is a second moon? I think she was referring to when you were talking about that smaller moon that's at the base.
right. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, it's like I said, it's going to be down here, just down here. You can't see it unless you're at
Hmm.
the bottom of the earth. Okay, and it's always been there. So it's like her little thing that she picked up. But now she wanted to know what about that moon. I apologize.
Is that the second one that they were talking about? I guess you heard some other people talking about that Gaia has two moons. Of course, we know the fake one, so that would be the other one. Or do we have one that's in Middle Earth?
There is no moon in the Middle Earth,
Okay.
but there is a giant crystal
Mm,
that, if you're looking up at it, the brightness of it would appear to be like a sun.
mm,
But it's not rounded. It's like to a point. But it's so massive on the ceiling of this, and it radiates a light form, and it actually changes. I find that very interesting. It will dim to give them an evening, and then it
oh,
will
okay.
get brighter, but it doesn't go completely dark. It just dims
Right.
to twilight, and it's kind of like you see that energy come in, and then you can see it go down, and then
Wow.
it goes in, but it gives them their night and day kind of ordeal, and
It's like our
they're
dimmer switches on our
yeah,
lights around here. Okay.
something like that. There, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Now, who's this sweet lady, Miss Joe Petrie?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want a floating house. Can they do that?
Absolutely, you can do that. It's a levitating house, and those will be available, further out past the new housing that we're coming out. But yeah, they don't have just the floating houses, but they have like these floating RVs, and they just pick up and they go, to the lakes or whatever. And you take them.
Wow.
Yeah, and those people, they want to live in those, so then now they can go to someplace else. They're not tied.
Okay.
But there is people who want houses planted permanently, and there's other ones that want to go, want to be on the move.
That's a new definition for mobile home. There you go.
Absolutely. And they're beautiful too, because you can open up the top of them like a glass and you can look out wherever you're going. So you're getting a major sunroof, or you can do it on the sides, however you see fit. But the whole thing, the whole trailer thing, you just go.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who needs an RV motorhome? I mean, even though those are fine around here in the 3D right now, but yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Mary Jones has another one. Will the people with the humanitarian projects have access to med beds this year?
Maybe not this year because we're so close to December, but I definitely think that next year is our year. Okay, because it's going to take a catapult. And Trump has given me every indication that that is exactly what's going to happen. He's starting to bring in this new technology.
Mhm.
As this new technology comes in, the RV happens, we get to start our project, and it's just a domino effect. So I'm going to shoot for next year on that, my friend. And I'm not going to say by the end of next year. I'm just going to say next year.
Right.
Okay?
2025.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2025.
Okay. Sister Kathy, she's in the hospital, stage 3 ovarian cancer, first chemo treatment, September the 6th. Yeah, she did have that. Chronic diarrhea since then, fire coming out of me, only 90. She's tiny. She's 94 pounds. How
94.
can we help Miss Kathy?
Well, Miss Kathy, we can send you all kinds of love and healings and blessings, but you're the one that has to accept it, my sister. So I want you to sit there as you can hear me talk, and I know that we're live, and you say, I accept that as a gift from God, as a gift from my family. I'm allowing it. And tell God, I am allowing the love and the gift that you are showing me, and I can hear because we are sending it, and allow it to absorb into your system and tell God, thank you very, very much. And no matter what they're telling you, you give it to God. You know God's going to help you through this, okay? And stay fast on that. And don't fall into everything that they're saying, because they're wanting to keep you in a state of mind. That means that you will have to continue on this. But if you keep telling yourself, that, hey, Jan and Alisa was on this show and I asked, and God, you answered me because they gave me an answer and told me what to do. Stand on that. It's not me and Jan is blessing you. We're allowing you to say that you deserve that from God. And we are saying, God, we agree.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love you, my sister. I do. So I'm going to give you out. I'm going to share my love. I'm going to share as much of it as healing as I can through this screen to you, my sister, because you are worthy and deserving of it.
We'll all be conduits for God's love and just send it out there. And it's amazing what one person can do, let alone all of us working together to do that.
Yes.
So Miss Kathy, you be open to receive it.
Absolutely.
Okay, almost done. Brother Sean, it's so good to see him. He works so much. I never get to see him. I'm glad he's here. Will my mission be telling people about natural cures?
Wow.
So like from Gaia.
Have you ever, Sean, have you ever seen the guys, I'm going to say like monk guys, that can go up to a person without touching them and they're moving their chakras. They're putting them back into play. This is what my higher self was telling me, that yes, these are natural cures. You can raise people's energies in doing that, and that is just on the chakras. Okay, but as far as like natural cures, that's where our herbals come into play. Okay, I would definitely say old school medicine man, medicine woman type ordeals with the herbs and the salves and stuff like this here. Those are going to come back in because God is now allowing us to have these herbal shops come out with that.
Yes.
Shut us down. So if that's the route that you want to go, and also you can do elixirs, my brothers. Those are natural cures. Okay, you can take the vitamins and all this kind of stuff and put them in the little elixirs, and you can sell those things. So, and it's part of an herbal shop. I'm sure that Jen, you know ladies that do little things like that too, right?
Oh, our sister Terry in here makes tinctures. I mean, she's amazing at what she
She
can
makes
make.
things first.
She's a
Cool.
little tincture. She'll go out and I think what Terry collected, I don't know how many, 600, 6,000 dandelions and made dandelion syrup this summer and
Oh wow.
amazing stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Very
there's
talented.
ideas that you can do too, my brother. And, and
Mm-hmm.
and because they're showing me that you can shift people's chakras for them,
Yeah.
that you can also do that for trees. So
Yes.
by all means, share your love with nature. And if you feel drawn to do that, those are natural cures. I know it's not
Mhm.
exactly what you're talking about, but that's natural.
Yeah.
It's food
Yeah.
like that, you know. So
Absolutely.
and do that for people, animals, trees, because
Mhm.
God is telling me that this is your ability that He gave you. You don't need a tool; you have tools. You just move it with your mind and your hands. You're like
Right.
that. Okay. So
Yeah. And Brother Sean now is he's our traveling nurse, and he's already doing his thing in the 3D man-made stuff. But I can see him going out there and healing
right.
lots of things
Yeah, it's a
naturally.
different level of a Reiki healing because yeah, the Reikis can heal areas and stuff like this here, but they can't line the chakras back up, and that is something that you can do, and it makes sense because you are a nurse. You're around people. You don't even have to tell them. Just do it. Just
Yep.
do it. Whatever your heart is feeling, then that's what you do. It might be just a yellow one, just move it over, or the blue one, just move it back over for them. Your
Hmm.
inside it will let you see what you need to do. That is
Right.
your ability, my brother. So please use it. We're going to need you. So
Yeah, and a lot of people will be able, that third eye will be open. You'll be able to see these things
yes,
and
exactly.
see where they're out of place and just simply by your
Mhm.
will move them.
Right. So
Wow. Beautiful.
thank you.
One last one we're going to squeeze in here. Some project is, hi, Lisa. I miss you, lady. Still procrastinating and hating it. Should I homeschool my 5-year-old now he's removed? We live in a different town, or should I put him in my town's district?
I am always going to promote homeschooling. Okay, because that's what we ladies are taking back that role, that
Mm,
femininity, that teacher, that nurturer. The whole role of that home and child and everything else. So
mm-hmm.
I would definitely encourage you to do the homeschooling. That way you control what they consume and what they learn. So, and because you are homeschooling, just do different things with their child, projects to see what he can do about balancing a ball, or can he roll a ball? Make things very, very fun because that child is 5 years old. That tells me that's a 5D baby.
Yeah.
Okay. And that 5D baby is going to have abilities in it. And while you're homeschooling it, you'll come across that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll start noticing it. But as long as you take that child away from you to somebody else, you won't notice those things.
Well, there are so many people. We've got little ones out there right now. The younger ones, they cannot focus in school. It's because these are what we call little star seeds.
Mhm.
They don't want to learn these 3D things. There's no purpose for it, and so they're hard.
Mhm.
It's hard to keep them focused.
Mhm.
And people are wanting to drug them up, put them on Ritalin. They have an attention. No, they're not from here, so to speak.
Yeah, the
And
little
I think
live wires.
we just need to go back to teaching them
Mhm.
life skills and loving people and just be together as humanity, not this structured system that man has created.
I absolutely agree, and it's a little boy. So I mean, I had somebody was asking me about that, about the male and the female. If I can put this in a sum up perspective, um, you fell in love with your husband so much that you thought he was the bomb. He's the one.
Mhm.
That's it. This is the one I want to be with. But without realizing it, you loved him so much that you wanted to make a copy of him. Okay. But and you liked everything about that man so much that you want to make a copy of it. But that copy's not going to come with those attributes and
Yeah.
everything. You have to teach it those so that whenever you put your son out there, he's going to look for a woman like you. And your husband's going to want you to have a daughter. So whenever she knows what to look for in a man, okay, that's where our women roles come in play. Okay,
Yes.
try to remember that. If you loved him so much you wanted to pop out a copy of him. Well, now it's your responsibility to make sure that copy becomes like that one. And it's his job too. That way you grow, you create something together. And when it goes out, it's going to seek what it was taught. A woman like her, or for her, it'd be a man like her dad.
Yeah. You know, people talk about being old school or old fashioned. It works. And, you know, the roles of a man and the roles of a woman, you know, women, we can do amazing things, but there are certain things we balance each other out, the masculine and the feminine. We have our roles. And I really think that we're going to get back to that.
I do, because I mean, I have heard a lot of these younger ladies, you know, I don't need no man. Well, huh, good luck with that. That would, do you mean that you would be in a town of nothing but dirt? No infrastructure, no roads, no laundry mats, no clothes, no jewelry, no cars. You would have none of these things if it wasn't for a man. And I don't dislike them whenever they say that, but it makes me have a tendency to take up for men, because men have built towns, cities, countries, you know, and that's what they're doing here now. So I just like that whenever I hear a woman says, I don't need no man. Well, good luck on that. Tell me how you feel in 10 years. Have fun, take fucking pictures.
I agree with you. And you put it on a grander scale. I just simply say, well, you'll need a man when you can't open the pickle jar. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, right down to that. I said, I don't need a man, but I have a flat tire. Where's a man?
You know? Yeah, exactly.
So men have become, to these younger women these days, a bank account. That's it. They don't care about you. They just care about what you can give them in money wise. Let me tell you something. If she can't cook, she can't cook. And here's the most important thing: if she can't change a light bulb, get rid of her ass. Simple as that. Because women are supposed to have these things to offer to the man to show gratitude for her wanting to make a copy of him. She loves him so much. But when it comes down to money, then that's whenever it's wrong. Don't sell yourself out, gentlemen. Those women are replaceable by the dozen. If not, go to another country and find a woman that has good traditions and good things, that knows how to treat a man.
Exactly. Agreed. Highly agreed. Yes.
Yeah, I had a cable man, you know, humble my ass. So, and I don't regret it. That man made me a better woman. He was an inch shorter than me. I always thought I'd have some big, tall, you know, hillbilly kind of dude. No, it was my cable guy. And I just absolutely fell in love with him. It just deeper than I ever thought I could with any man. But it was because he touched my heart, and I appreciated what. And just because I was an inch taller than him doesn't mean I dominated him. Doesn't mean I told him what to do. I appreciated this man for what he was. And I told him whenever we got married, and I was serious then. And if I ever come across that bridge again, I will do that again. But I told him, I said, I want to be your net if you need one. I want to bring you comfort whenever you are stressed out, and I want to give you peace because you deserve it.
Yes.
You know, and he just, what? And he was just thought that was wonderful. I said, yeah, I have that. I wanted to show him how much it meant to me, because he actually touched that part of me that made me want to give that to him, because he earned it. I mean, a lot of people can't see this, but I could see my husband's wings. I know he was sent to me. And why would I want to, you know, abuse that or take advantage of? He didn't make a lot of money, but he made enough to keep us going and to take care of us. You know, it wasn't about the keeping up with the Joneses in a fancy car. No, I'm pretty happy with an old Jeep and old pickup truck. Yeah, those fancy things. So, but a lot of people are not like that. It doesn't take all kinds of stuff like that to get my attention. I used to look at men's hands. If that man looked like he earned his day, he had my attention.
Yeah.
You know?
I think my husband is pretty much 90% callous from head to toe. Yeah. I have seen women, you know, if a man just simply says, can you make me a sandwich? She goes, your legs ain't broke. And I'm like, go make the man a sandwich. My gosh, he's been working. And what are you doing? Yeah.
Somehow, you know, a lot of these ladies have fallen off their cracker, but you know, we're here to help remind them of what they are and to be proud of what they are. It's okay that you are a female. I mean, even I have had so many wonderful ladies. They even want to buy me more feminine shirts, and that's okay. But there was like, you're telling me to bring in this feminine energy, and I have absolutely listened to these ladies, and I'm not as feminine as some, but at least I have my. Would you stop, you little heathen? I do have my perspective on how to respect a man, even though I did a man's job. But let me tell you something. I like the people think, oh, you're pretty good at building houses. No, I didn't do it by myself. I had an entire crew of men that did it for me,
Exactly.
you know.
Right.
And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish it by myself. Now, I have seen men build little cabins and stuff like this here by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I can appreciate their strength, their ingenuity, their logic. They are our logic. Okay, they are the ones that's supposed to lead us. That is their job. Please don't
Right.
take it from them. Give them praise for what they are, because as soon as a burglar, something happens to your house, what are you going to do? You're going to throw your husband's ass right in front of you. You won't think
Mm-hmm.
twice about it. Get your ass downstairs. Well, it
Right.
was all well and good until well, then make me a sandwich. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly. I
Get
know
it
it.
in perspective, ladies. Get it in perspective.
Exactly. Agreed. Absolutely. Well, Elisa, this has been so much fun. I'm so glad you came back to spend time with us and answering all these questions. It
Me
is so
too.
good to see you. I have missed you. Of course, life has happened and death has happened, and it's just
Yeah.
what happens.
I've missed
But
you too, my friend, and you did cross my mind several times. And I will send out that love to you because I mean
thank
I know
you.
that had to be a difficult situation to go through.
It
So
it it certainly was. I have learned a lot, but like I said, I talk to him daily. I know where he's at, and I know I'm going to see you again. I'm going to see him, and it's
mhm,
going to be beautiful. But
absolutely.
I know I got confirmation that he's up there hanging out with his other siblings because I've lost 4 babies, and
Wow.
I got confirmation of what their names were. They're 2
Mhm.
boys and 2 girls, so he's not lonely. He's hanging out and having fun. So, but Alisa, once again, thank you so much,
Thank you, my
and
friend.
we'll have you come back. And this train's rolling down the track. It may not be going as fast as we'd like, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, well, I got a couple more shows coming up because apparently when I did that show with SG, I opened up thousands of questions. So he has
Yeah,
invited me back so that I can answer those questions. And,
yeah.
and I really felt like, wow, well, thank you. So I'm going to get my chance to go in there and explain, what I meant. He only gave me 45 minutes, so I was summing it up
Yeah,
the best that I could. So, and
talk
now,
fast and get it out there. Yeah,
yeah,
well, he's an amazing guy,
he
and
is.
he's very knowledgeable in quite a lot of these worldly things going on right now. And right now, we're all trying to balance ourselves between the worldly 3D things and still keep our vibrations spiritually high. There's an equal balance there. We got
Yeah,
to live here and we got to put up with some stuff, but we got to do it with love and light. That's the main thing.
absolutely, because we're partners in all of this. Nobody's better than the other. We just understand where our strengths are and where our love and nurturing is.
Absolutely. Well, Elisa, where can people find you? Can you give your information out there? And
Y'all can find me on YouTube. Just look up Alisa Sione, or she might put the link down there for
Mhm.
if you have any questions, or if you are interested in a reading, which I'm not doing any more readings until after October 20th because I'm trying to get caught up on ones that before I went on vacation. But my birthday's October 20th, so I'm not reading for nobody
Yeah,
for that
okay.
because yeah. So the way I see it, I'm going to go back to 25.
Hey,
That's my goal anyway.
there you
Then I'm
go.
going to go sing my songs myself because God told me that all the female ones are demos, and I said I'll take that.
All right. Good. Yes, you guys go check out her music. It's absolutely amazing. It'll get you going. It's amazing talent, Lisa. I love it. I
Well, my
absolutely
newest one
love
I
it.
just put out today is pretty good. It's called Southern Belle Outlaw, and everybody that's heard it said that sounds just like you.
I was going to say the title sounds like you, so it's got to be.
It's
Oh
actually pretty
wow.
good. So yeah, by all means, go over there and check it out, my brothers and sisters. I don't have just country and R&B and stuff like this here, but I am bringing back some God rock. I'm making rock cool all over again. A
Nice.
lot of people are like, "Your country." My ass went through the '80s, you know. So
Yeah,
and I
buddy.
did like my rock back in the day when Def Leppard stepped on the scene. I thought I was going to lose my mind.
I
Then
hear
I
you.
found out and read his words. Nope. I was no. I will have nothing
Yeah,
to do with them. But
yeah.
what I am doing is putting the words out for my brothers and sisters to help keep encouraging them, keep more
That's
positive
right.
thoughts and stuff. But if you like rock and country rock, I would definitely go check out Guilty. I'm not guilty, and that one's pretty good too because that's a good country rock. Okay,
Yeah,
but I do have my other rock ones on there. But yes, come on over and check them out. So, and leave a
absolutely.
comment to let me know what you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
All right. Well, Lisa, I will let you go get some sleep. I've got to do the same thing. We're going to have a show tomorrow around round table. We're going to do some spiritual testimony tomorrow and just share our stories with each other. But
yes,
once again,
definitely.
sister, I love you so much.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
I love you too, my sister, and I'm glad to see you back out in the light and glowing with your beautiful feminine
Thank
energy.
you.
And I do appreciate it for all of us. And hopefully, the next time you see me, I won't look like I'm in a lava pit because
Hey,
all of this.
that's okay. We don't judge around here. You want it to be purple walls with orange stripes. You go for it. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't know what to do about it. I really don't know what to do about it. So
It kind
I
of
maybe
fades
you
in
can
and
go up
out.
behind me like a backdrop or something because my ceilings ain't going to hold it. So it's like, oh well, y'all just going to have to put up with me. Simple as that.
It's all right. It's all right. That's just an outer shell. We don't judge the outer shell, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, sweetheart, you have a blessed evening and we'll catch up soon. We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
Yes,
Maybe so
ma'am,
much
we
time.
will.
Yeah, maybe so much time won't pass and no tragedies will happen. So we're putting out good energy.
That's right.
But thank you,
Okay. I
love.
love
Thank
you,
you
my
so
brothers and
much.
sisters. And please remember, you are everything that you see, no exception. So be
That's right.
kind to it.
No spitting on the mirror.
That's right. No spitting on the mirror.
That's right. All right, darling. Have a good evening, honey.
Bye,
All right.
everybody.
All right. All right, guys. Well, that was a beautiful show. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for asking all your questions. Great questions. And we'll do it again sometime. But I'm going to let you go. We've got roundtable tomorrow, and we'll do some testimonials and answer your questions, of course. So bring them. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Go get some sleep. Stay safe in the storms. And if you're traveling, we're holding space for you. Okay. If you're sick, we're praying and sending loving, healing energy your way. Okay. All right, guys. Have a blessed evening. I love you. Good night.